All right, we're getting word out of the White House that there could be a Supreme Court pick from the President of the United States before he heads off to Europe by July 10th. That's a lot earlier than a lot of folks thought. Remember, Mitch McConnell had said that it would be in good order to do this in rapid order here so that they could go ahead and have hearings in the early fall and get them approved before the November election. So we're waiting for this White House event where the president is going to be doing some crowing about the half-year anniversary of the tax cuts that went into effect. I think that's Ivanka Trump talking to Wilbur Ross, Commerce Secretary. Let's get the read on all of this to George Mason University Law School Professor Adam White. Professor, what do you think of that timetable? By July 10th, the name?
Well, I think it's feasible because so many of the candidates have already been vetted the first time around a year ago for the nomination that went to Justice Gorsuch. So much of the heavy lifting's already been done that I think they could probably move through this one pretty quickly.
They've got to make this, that is, Republicans, a perfect choice, right? They can't afford, and it's been more common than not, right, where the original pick either fails or flounders, and you have to rely on a second or even a third choice. I mean, the president struck gold with Neil Gorsuch. A lot of folks have been saying, hard to repeat that, but what do you think?
Well, among a president's scarcest resources are his Supreme Court nominations. So you're right, he has to really get it perfect. A lot of the names on the list are very good, very well-respected judges. Some of the names we're seeing, like Brett Kavanaugh, one of the leading judges of his generation, Amy Coney Barrett, recently appointed to the Seventh Circuit, who really shone in her confirmation hearing when she was assaulted so aggressively by Senator Feinstein and others for her religion. There's a lot of great nominees in there, or potential nominees.
Is it fair to say that the most you can hope for maybe one or two Democrats to vote whoever the nominee is, and there's just as good a likelihood that a couple of Republicans might not. So you'd need those couple of Democrats. It's going to be close.
Well, that's right. The president's going to need as many votes, all the votes he can get in this, no matter what. Given the stakes, given who this new justice will be replacing, this will be the most hotly contested Supreme Court nomination of our lifetimes, and happening in the middle of one of the most poisonous years in our politics. So this is going to be ugly no matter what, and the president will have to fight very hard to get Democrats to come across the line, folks like Heitkamp and Manchin.
Is it your belief that they will have a pick done before the November elections? I mean, obviously everything has to go off perfectly, but what do you think?
If I had to bet on it, I'd bet yes.
Really? Now, the other issue then becomes how divisive they will be and how it will weigh on the midterms. This is sort of outside your purview, I know, but what do you think?
Well, you're the Politico and I'm the law-talking guy, but whoever is nominated, whoever she or he is about to face a preemptive declaration of total war from critics on the other side, folks who hate seeing this seat go to a conservative rather than to somebody from the progressive left who would continue the expansion of rights that Justice Kennedy and others had tried to usher in through the courts.